high-risk investment. Trading on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Market opinions. Any opinions, news, research, analyses, prices, or other information contained on this video is provided as general market commentary and does not constitute investment advice. Master the Markets will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation to any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on such information.
Hi traders, and welcome to our live trading workshop today with Master the Markets and Trade Guider. So today, as we usually do, just for those of you joining in for the first time, what we will do is, traders, we will first take a look at basically the live trading potential trade setting up. Me and Gavin were just talking about it. We just saw a Brent oil potential trade. We're going to be taking a look at that very soon. And also euro dollar was setting up as well, which we will take a look together as well. And dollar yen as well. So quite a lot to look at. And in terms of the topic for today, we're going to be taking a look at liquidity traps versus genuine breakouts. Okay, so this is a very popular topic. We will be covering that both using the price and the volume methodology. And finally, then we will be talking about the upcoming events, especially our annual summit coming just in about 1 month time, and also an interesting announcement based on that as well. Plus then there will be a Q&A where you can ask us any questions as well. So this and more in this live trading session. Traders, those of you joining in for the first time and joining in new and who are not sure about us and everything, this is Stu Narpan here, founder of Master the Markets Illustrious Conference and the Traders Open Day. And I'm joined in by my really good friend, Gavin Holmes, founder and CEO of Trade Guider. Hi, Gavin.
Hello, Tiru. How you doing?
Yeah, very good, man. Nice and sunny today, but it's a bit funny, isn't it? It's just raining, shining.
Well, I'm in Sandbanks down in Poole in Dorset, and it was sunny, and then it was raining, and then it was sunny, and then it was raining. So
yeah, exactly.
we're back to British weather. I decided to walk to the store to get my breakfast. It was a stupid move because it was sunny, and the store's like half a mile away. And then as I was walking back, the heavens opened, and I was in a t-shirt, not this one because I had to change it. I got soaked. So, but anyway, I've got my camera on now. It finally works.
Oh yeah, that's good, right?
I got a brand new Surface Book, very expensive one, but actually the quality of the camera is very good. I was talking.
Yeah, I must say it's good.
Glenn and Kyron were like, "Oh, you know, it looks good." So I'm actually broadcasting from my living room where the conservatory is. So there's no, you know, it's natural lighting. There's no artificial, and the camera adjusts to it. So I think it's absolutely, and that's why I put my yellow T-shirt on just to see if it worked. This is my son Ryan he's on this thing called Vinted. Have you heard of that? Where they sell everything, you know?
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because all my really nice clothes have gone. He found them in the cupboard and said, "Dad never wears that. I'll put it on Vinted." He made £400, so, and he won't share it with me. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, welcome to the seminar today. We're going to cover a lot. I just did a YouTube video. There's a lot of people coming on live chat now. Please bear with us because my wife Laura isn't here today. She's out with her friends, so that's typical. Just as we get really busy, but. The video was all about crude oil, and it was a short trade, and I'm still in it, and we'll come to it when we get through some of the basics here. But it's all based on, I think, my favourite setup, and it would have been Tom Williams's favourite setup, and we have decided, and I'm delighted to announce this, that the annual event that we're doing in London, we're actually still doing it, but we're also going to broadcast it over the internet as well. I think that was a really good decision because some people in America, Canada, Australia said, well, look, we can't come over, but we want to see what you're going to do. So Tira will cover it, but I'm really pleased about it. We're still going to Westminster, and we're still going to meet all our clients up there. So there's still an opportunity to come if you want to do it. Tira will cover that at the end, but I'm really looking forward to it because there's a lot of stuff that my third book, Think Link Create, has opened up a lot of opportunities for me and for Tiru, because at the end of the day we're a team and we're going to cover a lot of stuff. And but today it's all about looking at liquidity, looking at false breakouts, which I think we're going to see in gold. I've got a warning for you all, and we'll come to it. So Tiru, back to you.
Nice. Okay, traders, let's take a look at some potential trades that are setting up at the moment. I'm going to take a look at two at the moment. I'm going to take a look at Euro and the and Brent oil as well, and dollar yen. I think those are the things that are flagging up on my side. And Gavin will take a look at also gold and Brent as well. Okay. So I'm just aligning the time frames. I was just doing that as Gavin was talking. And the 15-minute, I can see is a downtrend phase one. Now, this is the good thing what we got here at Master Markets and Trade Guider is that we got a quantified framework over here, which quantifies the bottoms and tops. And when the top is confirmed, we got the dots coming in. It's not a buy and sell indicator for you to just blindly go and buy and sell, but it facilitates with precise entries and exits, especially the three critical stats that it gives. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about that a bit more later. I'm just going to quickly analyze these things over here. Euro dollar on the 15-minute, as you can see, traders, this is a downtrend. It took out that is towards the phase one at the moment, right? So downtrend phase one, because it's in alignment with the trend direction. Those of you who have come to our webinars quite frequently, and I know some of you have said that you prefer candles, you can see it a bit more clearly. So I'll do that for you guys as well. So you can see that if I convert this into a line diagram, you can see there's a top to bottom, same direction as the trend. That's what we call a phase one, okay? And then when it goes against you, then it's phase two, right? So in a downtrend, that will be a counter trend move, and then back again to phase one. So that's how we are using these terminologies of phase one, phase two. I'll give you some reference links as well later. But across the three different time frames, I'm just taking a look at my table here. It's showing downtrend. And we take a look at another thing called the stretch principle. We talk a lot about this as well. I'll give you some reference links towards that. It's taken out the lower stretch, as you can see. This is towards bar range formation. I was telling this to another client yesterday as well, based in Canada, that whenever we talk about a research case study or research question, it's always based on the objective in hand. Okay, why are you actually conducting that research case study? Now, in terms of this particular thing that we take a look at, it's towards the bar range formation. So that's how we have formulated most of the indicators and the questions on it. So on that basis, so let me put the range lines here. Let me just bring that to a 1 hour, it's easier. And I can see that happened at 12 o'clock. That took out the 12 o'clock range. That gives me a good sign that it's going to carry on a bit more further down, and the range is going to form towards the downside. Let me just take a look at this. This is 63, isn't it? It's the ATR from yesterday, and today is 39. So it's still got a little bit more to go. So let me just see that. So 63, that's about 50. So this is what we are after. That's great. So I am taking a look at a bias of a short side, and the latest is the lower range as well. What we got, nice volume spike over here as well. What I can see on this green bar there. So that will give me a little bit more better timing as well. Bro to ST ratio, I will still see it to the downside over here. So that's the downside. Previous daily high and low. It hasn't taken out either the high and the low. So that's NA at the moment. Okay, so that's an NA. And in terms of that, entry bias, I'll go for short. So you see, traders, what I've got here on this chart, and I'll do that the same for Brent and dollar yen. Now you can see that, you see on the euro dollar, right, what we have done over here is, you see across the 3 time frames here, most of them are saying towards the downside, isn't it? Except for this, it's uptrend phase 2, but the direction is still saying towards the downside. Now the next thing I look at is the stretch principle, all saying towards the downside. Previous daily high and low is the only one that is not giving us any direction, and the range hasn't been formed. So all I'm looking at is for a bigger range from the open to form to the downside. So now I form my direction bias. Okay, I talk about this quite a bit. And the second thing you need for any kind of entry is then timing. When are you going to get in, right? So, and that's where we take a look at price and volume matched up together. And for that, I've got it all on my trading view charts over here. So I am just going to bring that up over here. And the good thing about this framework is it gives you 3 critical stats, right? You can apply it to any strategy as well. So we will take a look over here. Now, when I do that, and I will put this on here as well, on the euro dollar, and I will update it to the latest version what we got, which is this one here, okay? Right, so when I take a look at all of this together, what we can see is that once I get the volume on here as well, so I need to just put the volume stuff in here. Right, so I'll put the RV there, that's good. Oh, I think it was loading up just now. Just took a bit of time, so I'll delete one. Okay, good. So what we got, and I need the VSA on here as well. So let me put the VSA Pro. Good, brilliant. So what you can see is that another thing what we take a look at is the red dots here by the VSA Lite system, okay, the VSA Pro system. And when that confirms with our direction bias as well, we have seen that usually we get stronger, bigger runners, okay? So this is good sign. Either a red or a gray. Red is always more stronger. We have seen. Also the volume spike. Now, one thing I want to tell you about this is that this is really good. Me and Gavin, we like this kind of setups because whenever there's a volume spike and there's a buyer bar in here, right? That's when the crowd will start to pile in thinking that, oh yeah, that's the turning point going to start to happen. What we take a look for is basically a contrarian move to take out the low over there, because then you know that that was a shakeout bar and that is not really the a true buying that happened, okay? So we'll wait for that and we'll wait for the market to come and confirm for us. But other than that, a little bit more timing rather than waiting all the way there to take out that low. We can see for other areas as well. So one thing I can see is that on the 15-minute, once this 15-minute bar closes, is at least for this low to be taken out, at least some selling pressure to come back in for a higher probability for that low to be taken out, or the second one where the trigger lines are indicated by the VSA Pro system. Okay, so these are the 2 things we will look at in terms of timing. Okay, this is when we do not just run into the trade and just take, you know what, my direction bias is short, I'm just going to short that thing, I don't care where it is. Okay, so this is what we call the timing side of things. So what I'll do is on the other chart, I will mark that out and we will wait and see. And on the Telegram channel, we will do that as well. There's some few changes coming to the Telegram channel. We'll keep you updated what's going on as well. For now, you guys can definitely join it. Right, so we got that now, right? So we got that. Highly probably we'll wait for that to turn around and then the stop being there and then the target being for the range of the day. Okay, the range about 48.50 is what I'm looking at, and the high 11669, isn't it? So 11619. 11619 is when it completes its range. So I will take a look at that as well. So I will change that to red. So 11619 is what I'm taking a look at. If it does come back to the short side, okay, 11619. Okay, great. So I will wait and see how that comes. Maybe I might put some pending orders. I'll put it on the Telegram channel as well. We'll wait and see how that plans out to be. Now, quickly on Brent, what me and Gavin are looking at is we are looking at basically here on a downtrend phase 2 on the daily. After this, I'll pass it over to Gavin with some reference links for you guys to take a look at as well. Downtrend phase 2, you see, by the way, all the things that we're teaching you is how you actually avoid the liquidity traps and wait for genuine breakouts. Now, exactly what I was showing on the euro dollar, I'll go through it again later on when we get some time. I'm sure Gavin will go through that as well. So downtrend phase 2 here is what we got here. So I've just updated that on the other one over there, table. On the 4 hour, we got a downtrend phase 1. And then on the 1 hour, we got the downtrend phase 1. But what I can see is immediately, I can see that that's quite overextended, isn't it, traders, right? So there will be a little bit of a pullback on that because nothing can move in a straight line. I will put that in here as well. So low OE. So those of you who got strategies where you can counter trend it, but based on that, but in alignment with trend on lower time frames, you can do that. That's why we teach in terms of principles. You can construct any kind of strategy to your personality as well. Okay, so here's on a 15-minute. This would have been a nice, good short-term trade over here. I think that's what Gavin was looking at just now. 15 cent, 1 ATR, that would have done. 1 ATR is about 70% probability of hitting it. Now, why do I say that with so much confidence? Is because when I put my stats tables in here, you can actually see that actually. When I do that, I do OE, I do P1, if I do ATR, and if I do 0.25, there we go. If I did all of that, it will tell you straight away on the table, and this is very good. This is an amazing handy tool to have. This is how we got invited to so many different prestigious institutions, Society of Technical Analysis, who then invited us to come and even lecture for the diploma students on the automated trading systems. You can see on the 180, I see immediately tells me from the close of the bar, right? This on the 1 hour, but when you take a look at the 15-minute, you will see on the 1 hour, it says it's got a 65% probability of getting to 180R once it closes, right, on the confirmation bar. So these are the very critical stats you can have, and it will tell you that for the opposite side, for the MAE as well, okay? On any time frame, you can apply this 15-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute, how you want to construct your strategies, you can do that. Look at that, 180R, 67.59%. Anyway, so that's what we got here. So let me just quickly do that. 1 hour stretch. Let me take a look at that as well. I will do that. Some of you like candlesticks. 1 hour stretch. Doesn't matter which time frame, stretch is the same. Yeah, very clear cut, lower stretch, all pointing to the downside. Range lines also to the latest lower range. Bro to ST would be to the lower range as well. I think this is a clean cut short, traders, just about timing really, to be honest. Then we got taken out the previous daily low as well. Yeah, everything pointing to the bottom. Now it's about timing so that you don't get caught out, okay? And in terms of this ATR, so ATR is $1.24. Let me put it into this quickly, into this table. It will tell me 99 cents. So 99 cents, right? That's done its range actually today, $1.06. I think that's when it will start to consolidate a little bit. I think we kind of missed the move a little bit just now. But those of you who've understood this, I know some of you are trading on this. Good on you if you caught it. I know I'm getting some messages saying that you guys did catch that one. That's good. Well done to you guys who did that. On the US session that has done its range. So I will do that. Okay, so according to our strategy, I will stay aside on that one because it hasn't it's fulfilled its range already for the day. But those of you who want to keep trading it towards the downside or towards the upside based on price and volume combination according to your strategy rules, please do so. I think I will keep an eye on euro dollar, and I'll also analyze dollar yen by myself, and I'll keep an eye on how euro dollar performs over here. In the time being, those of you who asked for reference links, the first step I would say is that first place, I know there's a lot of terminologies thrown at you: price, volume, SMI, VSA. So what I would say is go to 7 steps of CTP first, okay? And that's the 7 steps of consistent trading performance. And over here, once you put your contact details and put your click on the green button and not robot, you get the 7 videos sent to you over here, right? And this is where you go in detail about all the 3 different stats over here, which you can use in any strategy, okay? This is the powerful part about it. And this was designed back in the 1960s, okay? And so similar to, you know, whenever me and Gavin, we talk about this, we are always mind blown by the similarities of both the principles, because the guy who designed this framework, and which was taught to me by my mentor, actually references Richard Wyckoff quite a lot, and which Tom Williams actually based the whole VSA volume spread analysis on, and based the whole VSA Pro and all the indicators that you got today that we have designed over here at Trade Guider and also at Master the Market. So they talk about all the 4 different phases of the market, the accumulation, distribution, very same, of course, because the principles of the market are the same. Just that these guys are quants, they went to go and quantify, okay? So that's why when you blend both the indicators, there's so much precision, and all the VSA and SMI clients have totally validated that, right? That's why our community is getting stronger and bigger. So you can see that over the 7 videos here, please do definitely watch them once you have registered for this. The other thing is, those of you who already watched through that, revisited it, really love it, but you know, time has got into the way and you've not got the indicators yet, you can get that on this page, SMI and VSA page, and you can have that all on your screen just like that, right? Everything's showing it to you. And that's also how we actually protect ourselves from getting trapped from all these big seller bars where the crowd is getting in, okay? So you can see how valuable they are also towards a timing perspective as well, okay? So then the other thing is also our YouTube channel, right? So those of you who want to see this all in live action, because me and Gavin, we don't believe in just talking about what has happened, hindsight. We always look at the right side of the chart. I mean, Paul, who usually comes, will vouch for that. Stuart as well, coming regularly. So many regular clients we got, and a great community that is really formulated out of this price and volume methodology that we've given. You'd have seen that we do a lot of live, right? Not just show you the theory side of it. We want to walk the talk as well, me and Gavin, right? So everything here, even though you're reading about this, you know, watching about this and everything, but here we show it to you live on this live session. So we go live every Wednesday and Thursday. Yesterday we went live on our channel. And you saw that we took a dollar yen trade. That didn't really go very well in our favor. As me and Gavin, we always do, you know, we are transparent about wins and losses, okay? And that's how trading is. It's based on probabilities. You won't get a 100% reliable strategy, all right? But you've got to be very clear on what your strategy is and why you're taking it. Yesterday was a phenomenal, good trade because it fit all the rules and you got to take it, right? Because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. The same for today. So that's what we do in the live sections. You learn a lot from it in real time. You see the theory applied to practice. You can see so many things that we have done, great interviews we have done with amazing traders out there as well, okay? Take a look at that in the live section also. Trade Guider channel, you must also subscribe to it as well, youtube.com/Trade Guider. What you got to do also, traders, is that after you click on the subscribe button on both channels, click on the drop down arrow, right, and click the all bell icon. This way you'll get the notifications, right, anytime we go live, and you can watch it later as well. I know some of you are asking in the chat box whether, you know, there will be a replay. I think, who was it that was actually asking just now. I think one of you, I think Anesthetic, yes, you're asking whether it's a replay. That's the beauty of it, because once you subscribe and hit the all bell icon, it will send you a notification whenever you go live, or also you can watch it later on. So because we're going live stream on YouTube, once we come offline, it will immediately be stored here under the live section. Same on Trade Guider. You see, Wednesdays we go live on Master the Markets channel, and on Thursdays today, we go live on Trade Guider channel. So if you go on the live over here at the moment, you can see that, right? So this is what is live at the moment. So once we come offline, it will be immediately be there. You can watch it at your own free time, as well as all the others that we have done over here, okay? And under here, again, subscribe and then put the all bell icon, right? The last thing I do want to mention to you guys, a quick shout out to Trade Nation, who is giving us the Telegram channels and also the easy way of broadcasting our live trades that we are doing on Wednesday and Thursdays. And also another thing also is that whenever you want to open up a broker account with them, look through the instructions on the Telegram channel. The final thing is our annual summit, which what Gavin was touching a little bit upon. I don't want to take up too much time on this. I'll go through a bit more detail later on. It happens once a year, and we had all the in-person tickets. There's only very few left, 1 to 2, but we're going to open up the online now as well, so that we get both. Okay, we'll be live streaming that from Westminster, London, beautiful hotel, Park Plaza, Westminster, London, overlooking the Thames River. Both days there'll be lunch. The first day there'll be dinner. We'll be talking a lot about research updates, live trading as well on the first day, and also about the strategy construction and principles that you can take away and apply to your own strategy. Okay, amazing traders you'll meet here. So really great event for you guys to participate in. Happens once a year. We highly recommend it. Okay, good. I think with that said, Gavin, I know it took up a little bit of time just going through all of that. I'll pass it over to you in terms of looking at Brent and gold a little bit more closely.
Yeah, thanks, Chiru. Great. Yeah, and I just want to start off by talking about this event. I know there are people coming from outside of the UK who are flying in for it. We are going to do it online as well, because some people are in Australia. A lot of my clients are in the United States. Chiru's clients are very much UK based, but we are going to do this online as well. But we're limited on the online, it's going to be limited to 50 people, because at the same time, we're going to have an open mic session on this. And on the Friday, we're going to be trading live. But let me get straight to it, because I've got some chart. I'm in a trade right now. Now, Tiru and Glenn and Kyron, I talked about this earlier. Okay, and I'm just going to move that out the way. Okay, now this is crude oil futures contract. Now, I want to start at the top, and I'm going to bet, and I've done a YouTube video on this, so I don't need to go on it too much, but I'm going to start with some basics. Now, I've specifically left the smart money indicator off this chart to keep it, I want to keep it simple, but I do use it on the other screen because the two work hand in hand. Now, I want to talk about the universal laws. Now, that is what my third book is all about. But when it comes to trading, there are really three laws. Now, when I talk about laws, I was watching a program yesterday on the Discovery Channel with a guy called Professor Brian Cox. Some of you will have heard of him, some of you will not. And he's a physicist, right? And he talks about the law of gravity, electricity. So we've got to, I think we all do accept that the universe that we live in has laws, okay? There's some rules, and they can't be broken. I mean, if you jump off a building, you're not going to float up. I can guarantee it. And no, I don't guarantee, you shouldn't jump off a building, by the way. Gravity will pull you down. But when you go to space, in the shuttle, for instance, when they went up there, you don't have gravity. You float. So why? Well, I'm not going to get into all the science of it, because I have studied it, and I've written about it in my third book, and I've got a lot of knowledge on it. But what I do know is what Tom taught me. He said, there are three things you need to understand to be successful, right at the basic level, which is what Wyckoff said as well. And Richard D. Wyckoff, by the way, is I would say, the mastermind of tape reading, okay, which is what we do. That's what Tiru and I do. Tiru looks at it in a much more mathematical way than I do. And I'm fine with that because it's good. Some people like that. I'm going to keep this very straightforward. I do have a trading plan and I do have targets and I do use stop losses, but sometimes traders that are coming into this find all of that far too complicated, and that's fine. But other traders say that's exactly what I needed. I want the quants. I want to know what my targets are. I want to have a spreadsheet. Everyone's different. That's why I work with Tiru and Master the Markets, because we appeal to a very wide audience, as we've seen with our TradingView platform, which I'm going to show you now. Now, one of the things I've learned from my experience of trading is you can keep it simple or you can overcomplicate. And what happens with overcomplication is you get something called analysis paralysis. That's where you don't know what the hell to do. You don't know whether to take the trade, not take the trade, because this is telling you that, that's telling you that, that's telling you that. So I'm going to show you the trade I'm in. I'm going to show you why. And it's very straightforward. And I'm using, for this example, we've got various products that we support, but I'm going to use the TradingView platform with our Trade to Win Elite Pro program, it's a script that's plugged in, and it's got multiple features in it. But I'm not going to try and explain all of them. If you want to talk to me about it, then come on live chat. I can give you a demo, or not me, but one of the team. So I'm going to start with this signal here. Okay, and I hate the word signal because I like to use the word indicator, because it's an indicator. It's I said in my video that I did on YouTube earlier, I'm teaching a couple of pilots at the moment, and I've gone back to doing the mentorship courses, the one-to-one courses. So I've got these two pilots. They work for United, and they said to me, when I was showing them at the beginning what this was, they said, well, that's like an instrument panel that we have on the aircraft. And I thought, that's a really good analogy. I like it. They said, yeah. They said, so you've got these different things that are telling you, is that good? Is that not good? And I said, when you go to your aircraft, what is your modus operandi? What do you do? Do you just jump in the cockpit and switch it on and take off? Oh, no. First of all, we walk round the aircraft. Okay. Why? Oh, we check for any damage and stuff like that. So they're doing a pre-flight check on the outside of the aircraft. And then I said, what happens when you get into the cockpit? Oh, we've got a whole checklist to go through before we even switch the engines on. Okay, how many? 138, apparently. I don't know if that's true. We go through this checklist. I went, okay. I said, and then what happens? The passengers come on board and we do another checklist to make sure they're all in the right seats. I went, that sounds like a nightmare. It takes ages. He said, no, we've got it all timed to perfection. And then we close the doors and then we switch the engines on. Oh, okay. But then we have to talk to air traffic control and make sure we can taxi down to the runway. Right? Okay. This sounds to me a bit like trading, but I'll tell you why in a minute. And then, of course, the aircraft taxis down and it's given permission to take off because everything's clear and off it goes. Now, in trading, it's very similar. First of all, you should have a pre-trade checklist. I call it a trading plan, but I've got a checklist. I use a checklist. Secondly, you should decide what you're going to trade. because there's so many instruments out there, you know, do your checklist. Just go, oh, I'm going to trade crude oil, which is what I'm doing. Third, what time frames? I talk to so many traders. They go, oh, well, I use 10 tick. I use 1 minute. I use 5 minute. I use 1 hour. I use 6 hour. Come on, we're all different. You do your checklist. You have your plan. I'm going to show you why. In crude oil, I shorted it. Okay. One contract that I've not traded very often, and I'm about to take a trade in gold. And I'm going to show you why. Now, I'm not going to get into statistics and what my projections are on that, because I keep it real simple. I use a trailing stop. I have an entry, and I don't risk more than 1% or 1.5% of the capital in any one trade. That's it. But I don't try to project too much. I do use point and figure charting, yes, and I'll show you why in a minute. And that's something that Wyckoff would have used. But we're going to start with volume. Now, Tua and I, when we met, both came to the same conclusion. We went for dinner and we said volume is vital. But why is so many people do not understand it? Well, you know, Tiro just said there in the video, we're telling the truth about trading. What is the truth? Is there any truth? Well, there is. And here is the truth. When weakness or selling appears, it happens on markups, up bars, up moves, to lock in the uninformed traders, to buy at tops and sell at bottoms. That is a fact. No one will ever convince me otherwise that that's not true, because I can prove it now, because we'll see it here in crude oil. Secondly, the range of the bar, or the spread as it's called, but that's the high and the low of the bar, is very important. But it's the next bar that's important. It's the clue. Now, I'm an ex-policeman with the surname Holmes, Holmes. And when I was in the dock giving evidence, and they said, would Detective Holmes come up to the dock and give evidence? If I had £1 for every judge that said, is Watson with you? I'd be a millionaire. But anyway, I'm not a policeman anymore. I'm a trader, but I use evidence. And I did a TV series, and it was called Detective Holmes Follows the Smart Money. It's available on YouTube, and it's got a lot of views. So I'm going to talk you through this. So first of all, I can see the daily and the weekly charts are in a downtrend on crude oil, right? You can see this at the top. I can see here the 130 minute, which is one of the time frames I'm using. Through a customer, I can't claim that I, looked at that time frame. I look at other time frames, but this client who I mentored said, I've tested it, Gavin. You've got to look at it. It really works. Okay. So let's go through this bar here first. It's got something called a PS on it. Now that is professional selling. Now, the market's gone up over a 15-minute period. But why has it got a red signal on it? Surely it should be green. If you're using a stochastic, you'd be buying it. Using a MACD, you'd be buying it. And other mathematical formulas, you'd be buying it. Not in our system. And not what Tira's system will show you. Because we're contrarian, and I don't apologise for it. I come from a system as a police officer where everything's black and white. It's not. Trust me, I'm 58. Got to be, to make money in these markets, you cannot be part of the herd, the group. You've got to learn. And this is what we're going to touch on big time in our event in October, because there's some things I've got, some knowledge that I've got, which I haven't imparted publicly on YouTube. Okay, the reason for that is it's contrarian, and I make no apologies for it, because I've learned, I was sort of programmed into the system. No longer. So let's talk about the chart. Markup. Okay. Let's talk about the universal law of effort versus result. If that was all buying volume, so the effort is in the volume to push it up, how could the next bar close lower than the close of the previous bar? It couldn't. Supply is overcoming demand. Simple as that. But if you don't believe me, let's follow it through. Now, what happens is we get something called no demand, followed by no demand. Now, what does that mean? This is confusing for people. They go, well, hold on a minute. You said weakness appears on ultra high volume, these massive bars, and then you're saying it appears on low volume. Your Honour, there is the evidence. It's a fact. I'm not making this up. These are. I'm going to go to the live edge. You'll see why I'm sure. What happens here is the market then starts to. I love Tiru's word. I don't think it was Tiru who said this originally. I think it was someone else. But the market dances. It doesn't just go in one direction. It can't. But in this case, it was a clear short trade. Okay, no demand, no demand. Now you see, you get these green indicators. You go, oh, well, it's green. Oh, I've got to buy. No, read the instructions. No one reads instructions anymore. I've figured that one out, which is why we do YouTube videos and not manuals. No one reads the manuals anymore. You know, I remember buying the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know if any of you remember that, but they had, I think they've still got them. And instead of, and the manual was like 150 pages. I didn't even start looking at it. I just loaded it into the computer and tried to take off. Guess what? I kept crashing because I didn't read the manual. I didn't read the instructions. So we use YouTube as one mechanism and Telegram through Master the Markets. Yeah, that seems to be the way people are going. The level of I don't know, attention has gone. Let me just go back to that. Sorry, because I'm just looking at another screen here. I've just had an alert come in, which is quite good. Oh, that's quite good. Yeah, that's a great trade. Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to get rid of this quickly and go back to the screen. But yeah, so oh crikey! All right, I'll come to it in a minute. But there is the selling. There's your no demand. There's your no demand. Now we can see here, and I'll come to the alert that's just come in. Now it's coming via email. Now this is something that this system, you know, we're working with, or we're showing you here, TradingView, okay, because it works on smartphones. So I've got in front of me here my smartphone, and I've got this screen, but in a different time frame. That is the beauty of this system, is you can be anywhere and you can see an alert. Now let me show you, I'll show you the alert in a second, but we move forward, okay, and we can see the market falling. We can see the no demand bars, but then we get a markup. And this, and I was showing this to Glenn and Kyron and Tiru earlier. I said, look, they're doing it again. So everyone that was down, they mark it up, the smart money, I call them, trading in the shadow of the smart money. They mark it up, but everything here is still red on the time frame that I look at. And that's what the system does. So it gave me an alert. And what happened? It marked it out. Now you've got these two lines here. Tiru talked about them earlier. I call them trigger lines or trigger numbers. Okay. And what that means is the software has recognized, and it's pre-programmed. You don't have to do anything. It's a script. So when you've got the script, it comes with obviously instructions, which are on video, but you've got something here which has got to tell you a story. And it is. We've got a downtrend. There's no argument with that. That's where it started. It's followed by no demand, and then you get a markup, very high volume, not as high as that, but it's a secondary markup. but it closes this time, not on the top, but in the middle of the bar. That is a big gorilla or elephant in the room, whatever you want to call it. But that is just a clue, says former Detective Holmes. The next bar closes lower than the close of that bar. What does that mean? Supply has overcome demand here. Has to be. So now we've got a framework. As the pilots told me, they said, well, now we know something's going on. And when I lived in Chicago for 15 years, I worked in a big brokerage office and did a lot of work with the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Did a couple of seminars there, actually. The one thing that they would say when you walk in the office, they'd say, "Hey, Gavin, morning. What's going on?" I had no clue what they're talking about. What's going on? Well, I figured out what they meant. You know, it's a great saying. My wife's, by the way, American. I loved America, but I'm now living in Sandbanks, in Dorset, right on the coast. Beautiful, completely different from Chicago. But what's going on? I tell you what, that's a great saying. So if I ask myself here that question, what's going on? Well, someone is selling. A group, a large group, big banks. How can I possibly know that? Because the trend is down on the big time frames and it closed in the middle, next bar down. Okay. That doesn't mean it's going to collapse, but let's have a look, see what happened. So the market gyrates, it does its dance. And as that happens, just had another alert come in. This is great. We can see that it actually had a nice collapse to the low, which in my YouTube video, I said 63. It's now 62.70 down there. And now it's back up to 63. It's going to go down again. And I'll show you why. Okay, so you've got different time frames. Now, if I go to this is a great question. I got a text come in on WhatsApp here. Would this work on a 1 minute chart? Brilliant question, because everyone has different time frames. This is my trade. I'm short. I was short a while ago on crude, and I'm going to come to gold in a minute, and I'll answer that. But let's go to the 1 minute time frame. Okay, now it's amazing how the market can go down and up, right? That signal here is not incorrect. It's support. It's got PB on it. Buying, professional buying. But it's a 1 minute time frame. If you're short on a long-term time frame, I don't care about that signal at all. But if you're scalping, you're going to have to look at that and go, hey, there is someone buying there. And then it's been tested and it's gone up. So the signals are completely correct. So you use multiple time frame analysis. Now, the other one you can use, which I quite like, is a 5 minute chart. And you'll see here, there at the top, you've got something called an upthrust. Completely correct. And that's why on a small time frame, the market will go up and then it will come straight back down. So you've got to pick your time frames. And here's the ones I'm going to give you that I use. And I find them particularly useful. So the best time frame, in my opinion, to analyze is a 30-minute chart. So we'll put this up now and you'll see why. Okay, so 30-minute chart, crude oil, futures, observe, professional selling, 30-minute chart. So over an hour period, they reversed it. 30-minute chart, professional selling, no demand, fell. Now we're in a very, very interesting zone because this could collapse, and I think it will. If it takes out this low here, which is where I've got my email alert, it will automatically trigger my trade. I could be asleep when it happens because I've set it. Let's finish off before Tiru talks about what we're going to be doing, because all of this stuff is very logical. Okay, it is. It's not illogical at all. It's supply and demand. But there is something that I want to show you, and it's gold. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at gold, and we're going to start
Gavin,
with.
just one thing I want to add on as you're talking about the Brent oil chart, so that people understand is, both you and I, we look at particular technical levels in the market for the market to come to fill us, and we don't enter on impulse. And I really want to get people to take away that, because just now when you showed that Brent oil chart, critical thing what you did, and which we did on Eurodollar as well, is that just because everything is flagging on the downside, we just don't jump into that. We say that, okay, it's got to break this level, then we get in.
Correct. 100%. Yeah. That's exactly right. I mean, the thing about trading that I've learned. Well, let's have a look at this. This is actually happening. This is a really good example of how professional selling causes supply to come in and the market resists it, which is here. Okay. And gold has been in a strong uptrend. You can see that, which is why we stayed long. This is a 30-minute chart. Now, I can see straight away that the selling, the bottom line there has been marked out. It's been rejected once and now it's been rejected again. Okay. So if you're a scalper, you go, I'm still long gold. Gold's a really safe haven. Okay, it could be. And for some people it is, but I've got a shakeout and a test. It did go up, but now it's hit this line. And this line is predicted by the software. It's not me. I didn't draw that line. It's in TradingView and it's part of our script. Now watch. If you're a scalper and you've seen resistance there and it's rejected it there, go to another time frame. So I'll do my favorite one. One of them is a 5. Okay? And you can see here, you've got the up thrust and it's now got a rejection. But then you say, okay, fine. I need to scalp it. You go to a 1-minute chart. You go to a small time frame. And there's your no demand bar right at the top. And you're now into this area here, and the trending system has changed. This hasn't changed, but it will. It takes time. You've got to be patient. That's the thing I've learned. you can't this way, but you can watch it. Okay, so he can see our system with volume spread analysis or trade to win puts these little dots in, right? Now these little dots mean something. Don't ignore them. They're based on something that I can't explain publicly, but they're a formula. And what they're saying is the market is in a downtrend. Well, we can see that. And the way the system works is when this starts to change, that's a 130-minute chart. You can change that to a small time frame. It's up to you. I like to leave it on the big time frame to see what's happening. Because actually gold has been in an uptrend for a long time. But remember that most people now are buying gold because we're being told it's a safe haven. And I can show you multiple examples where it's actually not a safe haven at all. But at the moment, I'm still long gold. I've got no problem with it, but I've moved my stop. Now, I want to finish off before I hand back to Tiru with the NASDAQ, the NQ. Okay, so we just type in NQ and we'll put up the NASDAQ futures. Now, that's a 1-minute chart. We had an up thrust here, 1-minute chart, followed by no demand. Okay, it's very choppy, but that is an up thrust. Now, I want to explain that and then we'll hand back to Tiru and he can tell you what we're going to talk about. The up thrust is a question I get asked all the time about what's an up thrust? And go, it's very straightforward. It's not a complicated principle. In order for the professionals to make money, they have to encourage buyers at false breakouts, which is what this seminar is all about. That is the best example I can show you. The market moves sideways, sideways, sideways. Suddenly, you get this massive surge in volume, and it triggers a lot of bots, because they say, "Oh, look at the volume; it's going up." An upthrust. What is an upthrust? I'll clarify it for all of you. It's a false breakout, is what it is. And it happens a lot at the tops. And that's why you're seeing this market starting to fall. This is like, Tira and I do not try to use PowerPoints and look at the past, because that's an easy way out, isn't it? You cherry pick. This is a live chart, which is being broadcast live to a lot of people here, I can see on YouTube. Market's falling. It's because of what you're seeing. And it's exactly the same in crude oil, same story. Okay, and I could, if we were here for another hour, I can tell you that exactly where that would probably go. And that's what we're going to teach you in our event, because we're going to show you why there is. See, Tira and I do this all the time, and the upthrust, if you combine it with SMI, with smart money indicator, it's a false breakout. And this is what people do. They see the market going up, and their MACD says, go long, stochastic, go long, blah, 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 go long. That's gonna collapse any minute. How can I possibly know that? So I've been doing it 27 years. And that's what Tom taught me. It was his favorite indicator, actually, apart from end of a rising market, was exactly that. Now, we've got a lot of people watching this live, and I've spoken to a lot of people the last couple of weeks. I tended to focus on my trading and not really do demos or one-to-one mentorship. But now I've started to get back into it because I really enjoy it and trying to help people. The upthrust is a very straightforward indicator. It's a false breakout. What they do is they mark it up into an old top. The smart money, and it's not just one group. It's a group that they know. And they break out, and then suddenly it closes on the low with the next bar down. I mean, look, here is the upthrust, and the next bar closes lower. That has to be sellers. Now, it does often do what it's doing now, knock the market sideways for a while, but then you've got a no demand bar, and it comes and makes a new low. Now, we're at the old low. If it breaks that, goodbye. Watch. Now, I'm going to hand back to Tira in a minute, because we're conscious of time. I know, but you can all watch this chart, and then Tira will explain. Oh, hold on a second. I've just got filled again. So I'm already in this trade. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm sorry.
The news just came out, Gavin.
Yeah, I've just got an alert come in.
We just got filled in on Eurodollar. It was a big.
Yeah, I'm going to hand back to you in a second, Tira. I just want to see because I've just got an alert. There it's gone. Yeah, there it is. Gone. Okay, so okay, guys. Sorry, I'm just on the text with the guys. Yeah, we're right on the level here. Sorry, I'm going to put my glasses back on. Yeah, so what we got, let's just explain. You've got your upthrust, reversal, and now we're trying to break down. And because it's news, of course, we know that there's always going to be something like that. And it's now made the low, yeah. And I think this is NASDAQ, obviously. I've got crude oil going. Yeah, it's been a great week. Yeah, I mean, so far it started really well. I think we're going to see a breakdown now. And it's just a question of where it goes. Oh, good. Oh, sorry, I've got your WhatsApp message, John. Did you get an email alert? Yeah. Upthrusts is something I programmed in to TradingView with our elite program. So when it appears, it will only alert you when the next bar closes lower than the upthrust. Okay, that's what it does. There we go. Just as I thought. Now, Tiru, we do these things live, right?
Yeah.
how important do you think that is for people who are trying to get confidence in their trading? Because I don't know what else to do. I mean, you're watching the system working, and you put the SMI in it on my other screen here. It's saying this is going to collapse. It's going to fall. What else can I do? What else can you do?
I think it's exactly what we have analyzed, and I think we have given all the points for them. And I think we're quite careful in the sense also, Gavin, that we got to make the audience understand we're not here to give them the fish, right? Not just signals. We're here to teach the principles in
Yeah,
which the signals are designed,
yeah.
so that they can take away and they can use it independently. I think that's what everyone wants, isn't it? No one wants to keep being dependent on something, right? They want to become independent. And that's what
Yeah.
these principles are about. And I think we show this in real time, and it happens in real time. And then people start to make some jokes and say that we got some crystal ball or something. It's not about that. So it's not that we got a crystal ball or anything. It's just that we
Well, I
just don't.
have. Don't be so rude. I've got two crystal balls.
I know
Sorry,
you. I know, I know you would say that.
the guys are going nuts. They're thinking this is going to fall quite rapidly. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. This is going to fall. So yeah. I mean, you're right. We do this live. You've got up thrust, no demand. Okay, on a 1 minute chart, and then it's all turned. Yeah, and it's probably news based, but it's all everything in the background is confirming it. And crude oil, similar, gold, it's all there. Yeah. Goodness me. Tura, I'm going to hand back to you in a second. I just want to see where this is going to go because, yeah, that could really go.
Yeah, I think the audience can keep an eye on that. Let me just share the screen.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do. Yeah, they can watch this. I'm going to hand the screen back to you because I'm busy now. I'm going to trade. Well, we're in trades. So, yeah, tell them about the event, and we're going to do it online, right?
Yes, exactly, right? So just to wrap up, traders, I think what we've been talking about over here, you can see that on the euro dollar as well. I think two very important principles, what I want you to understand is what Gavin just said, right? It's that strength happens on weakness. Okay, yeah, contrarian things over here. How can strength happen on weakness? We did explain that. And we also explained on different levels on the chart for us to look into as well. And then the other thing is weakness happens on strength. And we've shown this to you in different examples. We showed it to you on the Brent oil chart, showed it to you on the NASDAQ chart. Now on euro dollar, those of you on Telegram channel as well, you saw that we had a pending order. You see the weakness happening on strength, but we had an order there for the market to come and fill us. And then you would have seen, those of you who watched it live, you would have seen that it dropped very fast and then big, then retracement. But we hold on to this. We'll see how it plays out to be, and our stops being here, and it's been modified on the Telegram channel. Okay, so we explained all of that, and also how you can get rid of basically the liquidity traps and get into genuine breakouts is what we are talking about. And I gave you all the different factors you can take a look at in terms of getting into these genuine trade setups with true weakness happening. Okay, so those are the things. Please do reflect on all of that. Another thing that you can see for genuine breakouts is what we also talk about is trend alignment and direction alignment, as I show you on the tables, as well as the stretch principle as well, combined with a solid framework of the smart money indicator framework, what we got, plus the VSA principles of volume spread analysis, which is part of the trade to win package, which you can then see on the charts over there. I will manage the euro dollar position on the Telegram channel, and I'll keep you guys posted on how it comes along, also in our brief as well. So you can see the whole system over here with the VSA and the SMI in over here, right? You can see it on euro dollar here as well, over here too. Okay, so if I want to put on candles, Some of you like that. You can see that much more clearly where the trigger lines are in as well. Okay, we'll wait and see how that plans out to be. Now, to give a wrap up, the first reference links, I would say 7 steps to CTP. I've talked about this. Once you put your details in, then you click on the green button and not robot, then you get the 7 videos. Watch this because this will go into much more detail into how you can put the price and volume structure together. Okay, and the 3 critical stats over here, the OE, MAE, and the time to are very powerful, which I just showed you a little bit just now. You can apply this to any strategy that you want as well. The MAE is incredibly powerful because it tells you where to put a stop loss in, where you won't get stopped out 98% of the time. So very, very critical amount of stats over there. This one here, SMI and VSA, those of you who look through that want to get it, but time has gone by. I will always say, me and Gavin always say, let's finish off always the year quite strong. Don't delay it. Let's go into next year strong. There's only 3 more months. Get the indicators. Don't wait for it. If you've gone through all the material, you know that it works. We've shown so many live streams as well, where we show you in real time on how these principles work time and again through time, right? Remember, these things were developed back in the 1960s and they keep repeating again and again because people do not understand this and they fall for it, right? All these liquidity traps in the market. So that's the SMI and VSA methodology. You can read through that, get the indicators. There will be much more information at the bottom there that you can get it onto your charts. If you've got any further questions, you can always email us, Master the Markets, a client service at masterthemarkets.net or laura@tradeguider.com as well. And then the YouTube channel, you can subscribe to it and also hit the all bell icon and go through the reference videos what I talked about just now, which is the stretch principle over here, as well as the live section over here as well, right? So the live section over here, you can also go through it on all the live that we do. On Wednesdays, we go live on our channel. And on Thursdays, we go through live on Trade Guider's channel over here, okay? So again, you can click on the subscribe and hit the all bell icon as well. Now, the other thing we did want to talk about was the annual summit over here as well. The annual summit happens once a year, as we talked about. It's going to happen on 10th and 11th of October this year. And it's going to happen in Westminster, London, okay, overlooking the Thames River in nice London and in central London. And then what we're going to be doing over the 2 days is that we're going to be taking a look at research updates, okay? We're going to be taking a look at certain research that we have done in the market that you can put those research stats into any kind of strategy. That's one. The other thing that we're also going to be doing is a lot of live trading on the first Friday, and also on how to use those principles towards your own strategy construction or towards your own strategy towards boosting its performance and towards achieving consistent performance as well, okay? Using both the price and volume methodologies. And as we said, over the 2 days, there will be lunch provided. And also on the first day, there will be dinner provided as well. And then also, the amazing thing about this is that the people will come there as well, right? Both in person and online. Just incredible, very inspiring people in the room that you can feed off the energy and, you can really boost yourself towards going into the new year. Right, so I say incredible finish off to the new year. Highly recommend you guys to join us either in person or online. Okay, we'll be sending out the emails for online tickets because the in-person are almost about to finish off. Okay, so that's all that. You can read through all of that on the annual summit over there, and me and Gavin will be there in person, so it'll be really good for you guys to see us. And I know some of you always joke whether we are real humans or are we robots. And I think Gavin always...
we are robots. I mean, this is all AI. We're not going to be there really. It's just going to be a hologram of us, and you're going to pay to see nothing. But Tiru, before we go, I do want to touch on something because there's another part of the seminar that I want to talk about in a minute. So before you wrap it up,
yeah,
please hand back to me because I just want to talk about something that's very close to my heart right now, especially with what's been going on in the world. So yeah, I'll come back. So yeah, anything you actually want to add and then come back to me.
No, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say on the annual summit. I mean, last one, I would say just a quick shout out to Trade Nation, who's helped us with the Telegram channel and posting out the signals. Those of you who want to open up a broker account with them, you can check it on the Telegram channel itself. I think with that said, I think I'll pass it over to Gavin. Gavin, you want to wrap up with anything last things you want to say?
Yeah, I would. Let me just go to this and I'll share the screen in a second.
Yeah, go
You
for it.
probably need to switch your screen off so I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll just put the screen on. Okay, I'm gonna, and you can see what's going on the NASDAQ and crude, but I'm not going to go to that. I'm going to go to
Yeah, we can see it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go to Amazon.com. This is going to be something that I'm going to talk about as part of the event that we're doing. I think it's very important. So this is Amazon UK, but it's all over the world. But anyway, I'm going to type in my name, Gavin D. Holmes, which is me. And it's coming up with the book, all right, which I've just got my royalty check this morning. I'm rather shocked. And it's called Think, Link, Create. Is that a trading book? Yes, partially trading. But I'm just going to touch on this because, yeah, it's all over the world. It's in 368 bookstores around the world. Now, it took me years to write, and it's based on my experiences of being a police officer. Well, if you want to read it, you can read it. But if I click on it, it sort of explains it. And this is what it says. And I didn't write this, the publishers wrote this. But I'll just finish on this note because it's positive. All right. And I believe in that. I talked to a guy yesterday who's transformed his life. He's in this room, I think. I won't mention any names, but the bottom line is it was an inspiration to talk to someone like that. I came from a background where I could have gone down the wrong path, but I chose the path of law and order and police. And I've ended up as a trader. I don't know how. You can't write this stuff. I tried to explain this to my children, and I've got 3 kids. You can't explain it. So I'll just read this to you. And I hope this is something I'm going to look forward to meeting you face to face, because this is something I've worked with some great people like Tony Robbins and Dr. Bruce Lipton and stuff. But this is, or I've studied them. I haven't worked with them. That's an incorrect statement. I've studied them. So I'll just read what the publisher, when they read this, they said, you're going to sell a lot of these books. And I have, which is quite nice. And Tira and I come from exactly the same path, really, but from a different way. But we do come from a similar path. We're traders. We want to make money. We want to help people. But at the same time, we've both gone through different journeys. So I'll just read this to you and we'll leave it with that. Think, Link, Create. Harnessing and understanding the universal power laws to create your perfect life. Embark on a transformative journey with Think, Link, Create, where Gavin D. Holmes unveils the universal power laws that shape our reality. Drawing from his remarkable experiences as a police officer, entrepreneur, and trading expert, Holmes presents an insightful guide on how thoughts, beliefs, and actions influence personal success and fulfillment. Inspired by a life-changing near-death experience and the teachings of legendary thinkers like Napoleon Hill, Wallace Wattles, Dr. Bruce Lipton, this book explores the profound impact of the law of attraction, the power of visualization, thought vibration, and emotional energy. Holmes masterfully combines real-life examples, scientific insights, and spiritual wisdom to help readers to unlock their full potential. Whether you're seeking financial success, personal growth, or a deeper connection with the universe that we live in, Think, Link, Create provides the practical strategies and mindset shifts needed to manifest your dreams. This book is a must-read for those who are ready to break negative thought patterns, embrace abundance, and harness the power of their mind. Discover how to think with clarity, link your thoughts to action, and create the life you've always desired. And I always say this at the end of every seminar. Your mind is like a parachute. It works best when it is open. I leave that thoughts with you, and we will touch on this in the event. And I've got some really good tips because I've just found some really good information. And one of the things I will just finish with is the most successful traders that I've worked with, like Tiru, they have the same thought patterns, right, Tiru? We both, when we go out for lunch or dinner and stuff, we sit and talk. We don't talk about trading. We talk about this, the universe. You go on spiritual, like I'm going to go. My wife is insisting that I go on the next one with you, because you do go to these things where you get your mind, because the mind is like a parachute, isn't it? It's best used
Yeah.
when you open it. Yeah.
I think everything starts from the mind. Everything starts internal before you go to external, right? So the principles is what we are after. And trading, a large part of trading is psychology as well. The last person we interviewed, Stephen Goldstein, he
Yeah, I listened. It was brilliant.
yeah, and he basically works with really big traders in hedge funds and thousands of traders, and he says the same thing over there. And he's got even the four-part chart. And the most important part he says over there is the letting go process, which is everything what we're talking about here, really. So it's very important.
It's important, and the most, and we'll finish with this, is Tura and I come from the same path, and that's what we're going to do in this webinar or stroke meeting people in Westminster. And we've chosen the Park Plaza because it's a really lovely venue. I've stayed there many times, and I know the manager quite well. So it's a lovely venue. I do still believe that COVID has affected people, and they don't like to travel too much. That was a knock for a lot of the hotels and stuff. The businesses nearly collapsed. I know I was listening to Richard Branson the other day, who said all his planes were grounded and they nearly went bust because they couldn't fly anyone. But things have changed. We're going through the age of Aquarius, right? We're going into a new age, and I know this, and I've got the evidence of it. And it's a change that takes time. It doesn't happen. You don't wake up tomorrow and change has happened. It's taking time. And now at the moment, there's a big story which is in all the newspapers and it's all over the media, artificial intelligence. And in the event, I'm going to show you how that could affect trading. But I don't think it's going to make much difference. You know, AI is going to certainly make a difference to certain things, but not everything. So don't be frightened of it. I don't think there's anything to be frightened of. Things are evolving. And in Think, Link, Create, I talk about not just a spiritual side, which, Tira and I are very much part of, but the science. There is a scientific background to how human beings, which if you're a human being, then you've got millions or billions of cells working every second, every millisecond, well, always. And your brain is your connection to the universe. Now, as a trader, if you start to understand that and you make that connection and you something called meditate, but some people don't, they don't tell, I don't do meditation. It's not meditation at all. I don't like that word. I prepare. And I'm going to talk at the event about preparation. And preparation is the most important part of that I've learned, which is what Tom taught me. Before you start, even look, his final words, when he was passing away, and I was with him, he held my hand. He said, "Gav, I know my work is in safe hands." And it is. But more importantly than that, we were talking the couple of days before, and he did say, before you take a trade, you need to have a checklist. You need to make sure all these things align. They did in crude oil. You've seen it. And that's what you'll learn. But you'll learn more than that at this event that we're doing. And hopefully you can be there in person, because I do believe, Tiru, and I think you'd agree with this, the energy that you create in a room, and certainly over a lunch or a dinner, is much more powerful than doing it over the internet. But if someone's in Australia or someone's in America, they can still benefit massively from the information. You agree?
Absolutely, and I think that's why we got the in-person, and I know a lot of people have always expressed interest for that. So yeah, whoever can make it, that'd be great. I know everybody has got their own calendars, time availability to take off from their kids, from their family, from the work. You can understand that. Yeah, but those who can definitely join in person, that'd be great. In person, I think in my opinion, I think we might be a bit old school on this, but I think it's always more effective, more stronger, less distractions, you're more focused, you're more in the room, more energy as well.
And the thing I'd say is I've done a lot of these live events in San Francisco and New York and Chicago and London. People meet each other and they create their own little groups.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, the
You know,
networking
they
is
create
priceless.
their own little groups, and I
Yeah.
find that fascinating. And they couldn't do it online, but
Exactly. Yeah, it's
when
priceless.
they're there in person, they meet people, they shake hands, they go and have a beer
Absolutely.
at the bar, whatever,
Yes.
and then they go, I tell you what, keep in touch. Here's my card, and they form a little trading group. It's really good.
Totally
Anyway,
agree.
we've overrun a bit, but please do be positive, all of you. Tua and I are here to help you. We are telling you the truth. You've just seen it. And Think, Link, Create is an inspiration for me, because it's something that, I did nearly die. And, life is precious. Okay. And I've seen a lot of stuff as a police officer. It has affected me, I will admit that. But, I'm positive. I'm really positive, and I've got a really good attitude to it. But it took time. And at the end of the day, I mean, we got a guy in this room that I spoke to yesterday who's changed his life. And that was an inspirational conversation I had. So everyone can change. If you're going through if you're struggling trading, come and see us. If you can come and meet us in person, I can assure you it's helped a lot. When I did the San Francisco event, 2014, I think it was, 50 people there for 2 days. Brilliant. A couple of the guys are running their own funds. It works. But if you can't make it in person, we are going to do an email, I think, in the next hour or two. We have got limited spaces, because we don't want it to have hundreds of people, because you can't answer the questions. But it is interactive. It is going to cover a lot of the stuff here and what Tiru's talked about. So it's going to be a mixture. It's about psychology. It's about trading. It's about chart patterns. It's about some new stuff that I'm not showing here publicly. All of that's going to be in it. And you've just seen VSA works, SMI works. Make up your mind. But, we will send an email out, and I'll talk to Tiru after this, and we'll work out when the email's going to go out. But you'll get it, and we look forward to meeting you in person, hopefully. But if not, online, that's fine. And I'll record. Oh, that's a good question. Sorry, I've just got a WhatsApp. Will you be recording it if I can't make it? Yeah, well, of course, absolutely. If you register and you can't make it live, which is fine, we're recording it. Yeah, and then you'll just get the recording. Yeah, that was a good question, actually. Yes, absolutely. It's a private recording. You'll get a private link, and you can view it at your leisure. Yeah. Tiru, any final words from you? But thank you, everyone. And as I said, namaste. Over to you, Tiru.
Yeah, guys, I think that's it. That's a wrap up from us. Let me just share my screen just to make you guys see that on that.
Yeah, I've just stopped sharing my screen, Tiru.
Yeah, so that's your Elite Traders Mastermind Annual Summit over there, traders. Over here, you can start to see. Let me see if I just share the right screen or not. So let me see. So this one will be the one. That will be this one here. That should come up right now.
Yeah.
So that's on the ETM Summit page where we are on at the moment. There you go. So you can get your tickets over there, read through it, and then see that. I think that's a wrap. And those of you on Zoom, if you want to stick around for a bit, we will be here for another 5-10 minutes. We can have some Q&A as well. Those of you want to catch up with us. Other than that, traders, those of you watching in live from YouTube and from Zoom, as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master. Take care and bye for now.